Okay, so it's Saturday Night Live, or Saturday night, and we are live. And type show link to drop link. And let's pin this message. Okay, and let's play solitaire until we're ready to have an audience. Let's see. Let's see if this, make sure we can hear it. It says we're live. That's good. It says we're live. That's good. And Simply Melda, hey, I didn't see you since Wednesday. Thank you for coming by. Really appreciate the audience. I'm not sure why it's not showing up here. Let me just make sure this is right, and then we will. I see what we've got there. Okay, so let's rest of my lunch. There we are. Okay, so that's working. Glad. Okay, I'm glad to see you. So I'm going to play one game of solitaire, and then let's start editing a cooking show. And that cooking show is going to be paella. So that's a Spanish rice in a pan. is apparently what it is. I did some research after I did this because uh, I have friends with a Spanish South American background, and they would do paella and talk about how great it was, and I would do it, and they would tell me what I was doing wrong. And now the difference is I get to talk about it on the internet, and they don't. Although I might hear afterwards from them once they've had a chance to see what what I've done to a traditional recipe, because it's no longer totally traditional the way that we've gone here. Am I going to win this game or not? What's going on here? I don't think this is going to be a winner. Maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe it'll pull itself out of the fire. Let's see. What do we think? What do we think is going to happen here? Is this going to win? Oh, there's a 9. Put the 9 under there. Put the 7 under there. Put the 8 under there. Put the 7 there. The 2 will go there all by itself. I don't know how to play solitaire in real life. Ooh, that's not good. That's not good. Where's my 8? Oh, okay, it might work. Where's my 9? There's my 9. There's my 9. There's my 10. Okay, we'll get this out. Yeah, and we won. Okay, so let's see what we're doing. Hey, Paula, thank you for coming by. Really appreciate the audience. What are we doing here? We're going to. I've already created the project for this paella, and this is my footage that and it looked pretty good. So it's cooking there. Okay, that's not a boring, a very interesting one. Yeah, so there. So it turned out pretty good. I'm not 100% happy with the way this got laid out. A bit of a mess there, and I'm not sure why that one shrimp is in the way. There we are. That's better. I put the hey Caesar. Thank you for coming by again. I haven't seen you in a whole 3 days. Thank you for the audience. So I put on some parsley for to make it look pretty as a garnish, and the taste of the parsley was quite a bit. It overpowered some of the taste of the rice. So, but it was pretty good. The previous time I made this, I put different kinds of fish in. I put in some clams and some whitefish. I didn't want to do that this time because I had shrimp and I didn't have any other kind of fish. So let's see what this is going to look like. So let's put this on 61, 60. Yeah, let's put this on the timeline and see what I got. I don't remember that I forgot any things in here, but you never know. Sometimes you forget to hit record, and then you wonder why you're missing something. And sometimes I've gone back. No, we want to keep it again. Everything's recorded in 4K, but for YouTube, I'm editing as an HD, so 1920 by 1080, which is a quarter of 4K basically. So what that does is it lets me zoom in and out a little bit. So here, virtually, I'm cutting some onion, but I can zoom out a little bit. I can move it over. And what this really allows me to do is not worry too much about framing. That onion doesn't look like it's in focus. Framing the camera, because I can move things around a little bit. On the boat, when I'm doing this on the boat, there's very little room, so the camera is sort of off on an angle. This was recorded in my basement studio, so I got a bit more room for the camera to move around, but I like leaving it in one place because then I always know where it is, and that's one less thing to worry about. So, pardon me. Okay, so we got some boring stuff: cutting up an onion, cutting up a red pepper, sausage. So chorizo. I don't even know how to spell it. Chorizo sausage apparently is traditional in Spanish paella, Portuguese paella. I have never put sausage in my paella, but I wanted to be a little bit traditional. So I went to the grocery store and discovered that, yeah, they do sell this sausage. And it had a nice spicy flavor. I really did like the flavor. And it added the flavor and added some texture to it. And I was always looking more for the pieces of sausage than looking for the pieces of shrimp when I was eating this. So here, this is that. Okay, so what I want to do, so the onion is pretty kind of boring. This is another one where we didn't hit record. There's no audio. Why is there no audio? Because I was playing with the microphones and I changed microphones on the camera. And obviously I did not plug in the right wire because there's no sound, which really isn't all that bad. But I do like the some sizzle here. It's supposed to be sizzle. I've got sizzle from another clip that I'll put in there. And here, I like the sound of the knife cutting. Click, 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 click. So we'll have to see if we can find something to provide a little bit of background there. Once it's in here, there really is no sound, right? It's just boiling. So it's well, I'm not sure why yeah, some guy. I will I will do a voiceover talking about the recipe and my let's give you a wrench while we're here. I can't really talk about the recipe or what I'm doing while I'm doing it, partly because I may do the same thing several times until I get it to look good. So I will record voiceover saying something like that. Okay, we're going to cut up a large onion here into very small pieces, and I've tried recording my dialogue as I'm cooking, and I forget to say things, or um, I, I just I have to redo something, so I got to say it all over again. This way, what I'll do, and sometimes in these lives, by the time I get the edit done, then I'll start at the beginning and look at this and think of what do I want to say, and I'll write the script, and then I'll basically read the script as a voiceover, and then record the voiceover. And Adobe is really nice because here I'm going to just turn off the sound on the computer. I can record the voiceover directly while I'm watching the video. So here you see, give me a countdown. And now I'm going to cut up some red pepper into small pieces and get that ready to put into the pan. So there I've got my voiceover for this little segment. Now, this isn't really what I wanted to say. Down. And now I'm going to cut up some red pepper into small pieces. And so that's that. So I don't really want to keep that, so I'm going to remove it. And but that was just basically how this thing Adobe works. I like Adobe. I was actually going to do one live where I did this in DaVinci Resolve, because I've got the Resolve on the computer. At one point, I had a file from a camera. When I got my first 4K camera, Adobe couldn't handle the file type. It was an MXF file from Canon that was something weird and wonderful. And the only way I could process the files was to open them in DaVinci Resolve and transcode them into ProRes. And then what I decided to do with that camera is I put a monitor on it that recorded to a hard drive, and that solved that camera's problem. Anyway, so what I want to do first is I don't want this boring cutting of onions right at the beginning, because I have one. Hey, Gator Saw, thank you for coming by. I was watching your last live there. That is an impressive airboat. I didn't hear it run for some reason. I can't remember what the story was. You said there's something wrong with it, or anyway, it's got to make a huge sound right at your head when that propeller takes off. So, but yeah, thank you for coming aboard. Well, we're not aboard. We're doing this in my studio. Anyway, so somebody got upset with me, and they not upset, made a comment saying that thank you for wasting 2 minutes of my life. Cutting up onions and liver. Now, interestingly, that liver video has now gone viral, and it's up to 6,000 views. I wish they all got that way. I have no idea what YouTube did, but it has really gone viral. So I'm happy for that. Anyway, so what we're going to do is we're going to do the sausage cutting up. Oh, shoot. I've already got the pepper cut up, right? So I don't know if I can. I guess I've got to do this in order because I left the pepper on the cutting board, and here. Okay, what if I just zoom it in just a little bit? Quality is still good enough. That way, it isn't obvious that I cut the red pepper before I cut the sausage. So the sausage is more interesting than the onion. If for no other reason, then nah, I can't do that. I'm wrong, because see, I left the onion on the cutting board as well, and the red pepper. So, yeah. Do we really need peeling the onion? Nah. Let's get rid of that. Let's get rid of it. Okay, first of all, we can make life a bit easier for ourselves if we actually remove all these audio tracks, because if Premiere does something a little bit differently when there's no audio track, and since we didn't record anything that was worth having, might as well get rid of it. And what it simply does, the difference is this little item here, instead of having to scroll for it, it's there, right where you can see it. We want to get rid of this guy. 162. You're gone. And because I like to keep track of what I've gotten rid of, I just rename it and then delete it later because it. Hey, Moto Mining, thank you for coming aboard. I think you're another boat guy, right? If I remember correctly, you're out on the west coast, Vancouver, outdoors. I remember you. Yeah. It's all coming back to me. I haven't been to see you in a while. I apologize. Thank you for coming aboard, Grizzly. You're back. I would love it, love it, love it, love it. Thank you for keeping me company on a Saturday night. Anyway, so we renamed that so it's out of the way, and now so we're going to start. And somebody's going to complain and say I wasted a minute of their life cutting up an onion. Okay, how many seconds is this? 28 seconds. I've said before, I'm the slowest person cutting with a knife. I was watching somebody today. Yeah, it's technology is advancing at a great rate. Okay, let's cut that there. And I said I'm a slow cutter. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to speed this up 100 to 140%. Now, how many minutes is left? 15 seconds. I can afford 15 seconds for somebody to watch me cutting an onion. Let's speed this guy. He's more interesting. Let's go to 130%. And now that's how many seconds? 18 seconds of cutting up a red pepper. That's not so bad. And as I said, this, okay, so now we're not going to hide this because we want to do that in the right order. Let's just put it in the right place. We want to cut up this chorizo sausage. I'm going to have to look up the proper pronunciation for chorizo before I actually do the voiceover. Okay, 42 seconds. We'll speed it up a little bit as well. And it's kind of interesting. It's sausage. It's not so much interesting, but it's unique. It's the first time we've cut up sausage. Never had a boat. Ah, too bad. Chips, boats, all stuff on the water. Now, what I want to do, okay, we'll come back later because at the intro, I want to have a shot of the finished dish as I'm about to eat it and a shot of making it sort of as the intro. So when people, that's sort of my hook to, I would guess, yeah. Okay, so we cut up the sausage, and now we're going to put a bit of oil in the pan. Let's zoom out just a hair. Let's center it. That's nice. Okay, 37 seconds. That's good. I like that. And I'll talk here about that. Okay, when I do the voiceover, we'll talk about what we're putting in the pan. Okay, so what do we got here? Okay, there we're adding some spice. So what are we doing here? This is just stirring the pot. Stirring the pot. I wanted a close-up. Do I need this? How long is my project now? 10 minutes. I just want 8 minutes, so 10 minutes isn't it? Yeah, I read about floods. Hey, Susanna Morjan, thank you for coming aboard. Thank you. I visited you this morning, and I think I got 3, 4 subscribers from it. So thank you for that. Really appreciate it. You have a very good audience. And yeah, I read about the floods everywhere. The mid Vancouver floods, Texas floods, Florida floods, and you need a boat. Maybe it's time to build the ark, right? And let it, when the river flood comes, then it just floats you away to wherever. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to take this piece out because it's kind of repetitive. Bring it back later if it if I need some filler. 167, you're gone. Where is 167? There you are. That doesn't make any sense. That doesn't make any sense. 167. Oh, I see what I did here. Okay. I see what I did. Okay, 167. We don't need it. It's repetitive. And let's see what we got here. So I like that. Let's just watch it at regular speed. Okay, what did I do there? I zoomed in and out while I was fiddling with it. Okay, stop at the action. There's the end of the action. We don't want. It's the motion picture. Things have to be in motion. Yeah, where we are in Toronto, we're on top of a sand dune. Now the sand dune is 1,000 years old, but all this area was at one point lakeshore, and it is a possibility that if the right kind of water condition in the lake, it's a tsunami in the lake, assuming there is such a thing, that we'd all wash away. Okay, so what are we doing here? Okay, now we're going to put in some paprika. Let's zoom out a little bit. So I want to see the spoon coming down. That's nice. Spread that around. There we are. 3 seconds, that's good enough. Yeah, well, that's this other whole thing that things are sinking. Pardon me. Oh, pardon me. Land is sinking, land is rising. Okay, what do we got here? Now we're putting in some garlic powder. That's nice. I like that. What have we got? Okay, we're going to mix that around. A little bit boring, but let's let it stop there. And in here, there's okay, what did I do here? Oh, sorry. I just undid something. I forget, the zoom mode changed. Okay. Okay, so this is zoomed at 79%. Let's go 79%, should be the same. Let's move it over to there, so it's sort of centered. 1048 by 540. 1048. Let's see, is that, oh, okay, I guess I jiggled the camera. This camera is on a flimsier tripod than I prefer 542. And every time I touch it, it jiggles a bit. So I think I want to change the tripod, or I have a heavier duty tripod, and want to use that instead of this one. The advantage of the one that I'm using now is there's a proper video head on it, so it's easy to change the angle and the pan, and that is useful. But I can always just move the tripod head from the one tripod to the other. That's makes the most sense. Hey, Super Warrior, thank you for coming by. Appreciate the company. Let's go this one 79% as well. See if that makes sense. And what did I say the additional was? 1064. 1064. Move it over. Centered a bit. Is that centered? Does it move? Close enough. Arizona Jake, hey, I haven't seen you working out in a couple of days. I did see a comment on the weather out in the boat. It was kind of getting chilly. I was down there yesterday taking the sails off. The last sail, I took one sail off on Wednesday. The second sail off yesterday, and yeah, motor mining is this is where I'm getting to. So I took one sail off on Wednesday because I finished being interested in sailing, and I wanted to get them off before the rain because it's supposed to be raining for the next week or so here. And then I left the second one for yesterday, Friday, and I just got the sail off, folded up, put in the bag, got the bag in inside the cockpit cover, and it started pouring. So I was cutting it close by minute, and the reason for that is I don't. If the sail gets wet, it's going to be wrapped up, rolled up for 4 months, 5 months, 6 months. January, February, March, April, 4 plus, yeah. And it gets kind of moldy then. So you don't want to put away a sail wet. And okay, so here we're okay. I like that. I like that angle. That's the end of action. And yeah, so there's still work to be done to wrap it up for the winter. Got to finish draining the water tank. I did some of that yesterday as well, and then visit my good friends at Canadian Tire and buy some plumbing antifreeze so that everything doesn't freeze. Okay, what are we doing here? Okay, so here's where we're starting to cheat on paella, because here paella is supposed to have saffron. Saffron is like $25 for a tiny, 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 tiny container, and turmeric is is recommended in recipes for like paella, mainly for the yellow color. The flavor is slightly different. I have bought it before it got so expensive, and there's a slightly difference in taste. I read a comment somewhere that turmeric is really for curries, and I have seen it in many Indian food recipes. But I wanted the yellow color because that's what makes the rice yellow, and paella means yellow rice. It doesn't mean yellow rice, but it means rice, pan of rice that is yellow. Okay, so here we're spreading this stuff around. Yeah, Lake Ontario doesn't freeze. The Toronto Harbor freezes because it's not deep enough where the boat is. Most of the lake doesn't freeze. Great Lakes shipping stops over the winter because the St. Lawrence River and the locks in the Welland Canal, and I think the locks in that's Sault Ste. Marie freeze over in the winter. So it does shipping stops. The harbor, the Toronto harbor freezes because it's not very deep and there's not enough of a current. Especially where we are, we're in a bay. So everything does freeze up, and the few boats that stay in the water over the winter do bubbling. And I saw a couple of people testing out their bubblers already. So winter gets to be winter. It gets to be maybe 10 below Celsius, which is what, 15 degrees, something like that. So it's not super cold. With the wind chill, we talk about the minus 20 with wind chill, and definitely you would notice that as a person, but the boat won't know the difference. The boat doesn't have a wind chill. It's cold or it's not cold. And pardon me. And so that's the end of the sailing season for that. What did I do here? Why is this? I'm just sitting here. Okay, obviously I forgot to press stop on the recording. Let's give ourselves 2 seconds of closing that. Okay, so here we made a mistake. We made a mistake. We didn't hit record when we were putting the tomato in. So I tried to recover by putting some of the tomato back, and that didn't work out. So what I did, let's just see. Okay, that's okay. So here, I put the tomato in, and I didn't hit record. I tried to recover by putting the tomato back. That was a disaster too. Let's see if that works. Let's get rid of this guy. If you're gone, what number is he? He's number 176. And this little guy here, 175. He's gone. So this is this is me not being organized enough. 175. Let's get rid of that. And it's also partly because the record button is a long reach from where I'm stirring. So it's easy to think I pressed the record and I didn't. At least that's I'm claiming is my excuse. And Moto, there is locks. There's locks in the St. Lawrence at Cornwall. Really not quite Cornwall. Between Montreal and Cornwall, there's locks. There's locks in the Niagara to get around Niagara Falls, because obviously Niagara Falls is kind of steep for boats to go up. So the Welland River was turned into the Welland Canal, and there's a bunch of locks there. And then there's locks at Sioux Lookout, Thunder Bay. I've never been there, and I think that's it for the locks. But so the locks. It is quite an uphill slosh to get from the ocean to Lake Superior. Okay, so this didn't really work, right? So, but let's get rid of it for now. So what I did then is I said, okay, I've got to open another can, and we're going to just have twice as much tomato as we'd planned. And let's see if that looks good. I guess it does, because I can talk about the putting in the tomato. I guess the other downside of this camera it's an Olympus. It's not a real video camera, so there's no tally light. So there's nothing to tell you whether you're recording or not. In the viewfinder, in the monitor screen, it does say recording and a little flashing thing. But if you're trying to concentrate on getting the aligning your dishes and your cans nicely centered, then you're not watching the monitor carefully enough to now. Yeah, so it's just me. I asked myself, why am I not using a real video camera? Because I don't want to buy a decent 4K camera for a couple $1,000s when I have a decent camera that does a reasonable job but has some ergonomic limitations. Okay, so the other thing about Paella is it's supposed to be let's move this guy over a little bit, try to line it. Yeah, that's all right. No, that's not quite right. Let's bring it back to here. That little spot there. That's good. Is that the rice is supposed to stay at the bottom of the pan and everything else cooks above it. And the rice turns sort of into a crust. Now, I have never figured out how to actually make that happen because I don't have a proper paella pan, because a big paella pan is sort of like big, almost like a wok, but very flat. I have taken pictures in Spanish restaurants when I was doing Uber photography, and I've watched the pans that they're using, and so it's grown over the years in the Spanish tradition. Okay, so here we're cooking it now. We can see the rice is nice and yellow. So I'll make that comment. A little bit too much tomato, but that's okay. That tasted good. I liked it. Okay, now we're going to add some shrimp. And we're going to mix them in. Okay, I like that. We'll leave that, even though there's nothing happening for a few seconds of where it's just bubbling. I like what that looks like. Okay, we're cooking, we're stirring. I mean, all this cooking and stirring. It's part of it's part of doing it in real life. Will anybody get any value out of watching me stirring a pot? If they stick around for a couple of seconds, then Google will like me because people are watching Google longer. Okay, so what are we doing here? We're going to taste it. Let's see what that looks like. Okay, that's nice. I like that. Okay, I didn't like the beginning, so let's get rid of that. I think what happened is the first time I tried it, I didn't get any of the sauce on the spoon. Yeah, that's it. That's better. Okay, we're tasting. That's good. Okay, so this one, stirring, I don't want. Let's get rid of it. Number 177, you're gone. Number 177, there you are. Okay, so now we're stirring a bit more. We're tasting, we're stirring. Okay, I don't understand what's here. Oh, I tasted it. I didn't add any spices. When did I add the salt? When did I add salt? And I'm tasting. Maybe I was checking to see if the rice was done. That's why I'm adding salt. Because the sausage was very salty, and but it was boring without a little bit of extra salt. So here, it's good. Let it sit for a minute. Okay, so now we're going to serve it out. Let's zoom out a little bit virtually. Move it over. It's served. Yeah, I regret the garnishing this thing with parsley. I didn't like the taste, and I'm not 100% sure it's necessary. I mean, a little spot of green is always nice. Okay, so here we're serving it out. Let's see, and we're tasting it. And I put some seashells on the side here um, to sort of create the environment of seafood, shellfish. I like that one better. So let's get rid of this guy. He's a duplicate. I recorded this a couple times. That sometimes don't like the first way that I do it. What number is this? 187. Your toast. 187. Your toast. Where is 187? 187. 186. 187. Okay, so this starts where? Okay, how many seconds is that? 9 seconds. 8 seconds, a little bit on the long side. We don't need the moving of this, so 6 seconds. So that's good. I like that. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to make a copy of this clip and move it to the front because is that for the intro, I want to have what the 6 minutes. So it's gotten a lot shorter, right? We had 10 minutes to start, and now we're down to 6 minutes, and we're wasting a whole 45 seconds here with nothing in it. So okay, so it's only 5 minutes. I'm not happy with that. We might bring back some of the boring stirring of stuff. Okay, so what do we got here? We might bring back the what I'm looking for is a clip from the cooking. This is the clip we're going to use. We'll make a copy of it and bring that to the beginning. Now, we only need 5 seconds of this. So let's go here. There's 12, there's 8. So that's the cooking. And we're now at 5 minutes and 27 frames. Okay, so that is our video. I'm not unhappy with it, except it's a bit too short. Now, one thing that um, some guy asked about voiceovers. So one of the voiceovers is the captain talking about how great it is. So let's bring the captain here and stick him on the timeline. And hope to God we have a voice. Yes,
Paella.
we have an audio track. So it'd be really embarrassing if I was recording myself and I forgot to turn on the microphone. So it's all done with a wireless lav. And um, I've occasionally hit the mute button when I've been setting it up. So what am I
I
babbling
couldn't
about
find the
here?
required saffron, but still, that was good. Wonderful taste combo. Delicioso.
Trying to speak Spanish there. Okay, so that's there. And then what's all this nonsense here? I think I recorded this twice.
Paella, loosely translated is Spanish for yellow rice in a pan, or something like that, with meat and seafood. This version is far from traditional. For instance, I couldn't find the required saffron, but still, it's yellow and mellow. Let's cook. That was good. Wonderful taste combo. That was good. Wonderful taste combo. Delicioso.
Okay, so I like that. And what we're going to do here, this is recorded on against a green screen. We're going to bring them down a little bit. Maybe make them a little bit smaller because we have to see what the background is going to be. And we're going to use what Adobe calls the Ultra Key effect, which will eliminate the green. I'm going to use what they call aggressive because I don't have special separate lights for the green. I just have one set of lights that are shining on me, and they're one on each side, and they're creating a little bit of a shadow. So it's not perfect green. Let's see if that was a good choice. It's black everywhere. There's a little bit of a shadow here. We'll fix that instead of spending for the rest of my life looking for the average shade of green that is good. We're just going to increase the black level. There we are. It's gone. And now the captain is on his own. So here,
Still, it's yellow and mellow. Let's cook.
okay, so we'll cut that out. And then I wanted to go to this here because I think I said it a little bit better. So this is my extra. Oh, I forgot one thing. We're going to have to bring in the um, um, ingredients list as well. So let's not forget that. The what I'm going to do because it basically uses the same thing over and over and over. I'm going to go back and open another project and steal that instead of looking for where it is on the hard drive. Where did we last have AI shrimp? So this is interesting. I decided I was going to today I cooked a recipe from ChatGPT on how to make a shrimp salad, and it was a pretty good interpretation based on other people's recipes. I had not expected to put frozen peas in it. Yet half of the recipes I looked at had frozen peas, so obviously ChatGPT read those recipes and decided that frozen peas were good for a shrimp salad. So AI recipes, kind of interesting. Let's steal it from this one here, bolognese. This one is live. Um, pardon me. Pardon me. Oh, winter is setting in. And what I'm going to steal from here, this is from this other recipe, I'm going to steal this ingredients and the background for the captain, some seagull, and the ingredient clip. And while we're here, might as well get everything that we need. The thing that I have that says, please like, comment, and subscribe, and the intro titles. Let's copy that. Let's close this. And let's paste it all here at the end. And let's move that over back closer to the project. Oh, not so close. Okay, so here, what we're trying to do is we're going to work at the end first. Let's bring this over here. And we're going to just, let's get a little bit more so I can see what we're doing here. I'm going to get this to line up. There we are. And now the captain is sitting on the boat. No more sitting on the boat this year. Let's make him a bit bigger. Now we'll put him right there. That's a good place for him. Let's do this little zoom here. What's going on? There we are. So obviously this was something was wrong with the other video. There's a little bit of a spot there where I missed the thing. Okay, and then here, this is the wrong ingredients for this this recipe. Let's get rid of everything. One onion. Good enough. Okay, that's going to be right. Have to get the actual recipe, actual ingredients in there. And what else did we do here? So this. Let's move this to the beginning. It's not bolognese pasta sauce. It is something paella. Quick. How do you spell paella? Where's my spelling for paella? Okay, so we'll fix that title later. I just wanted to get it in the right place. This belongs here for the first ingredient, which is going to be 1 onion, and then that'll be for every different ingredient. And now for something completely different. We'll stick this over here for now just to keep it out of the way. It basically says subscribe. And what happened to my friend the captain? There he is. And what we're going to do with this is move this up one layer, bring this in here. We're going to take the seagull, which is where? Where's my seagull? What happened to my seagull? Okay, I guess I didn't bring that in. That's okay. We'll bring that later. Let's bring this captain guy here. And what I've been doing is starting the video with the dish and me sampling it. Oh, hold on, that plate moves. Why is that plate moving? Maybe I should use the other clip. And then what we do here is, let's bring this, we're going to make a space in here. We're going to take advantage of this little insert edit thing that Premiere does. We're going to take the captain and put him here. So he starts talking right after. Let's move that. He starts talking right after this.
Paella, loosely translated, is with meat and seafood. This version is far from traditional.
We're going to put that there, and he's going to talk underneath that.
This version is far from traditional. For instance, I couldn't find the required saffron, but still, it's yellow and mellow. Let's cook.
So that's good. We'll bring that up here. We'll put that in there. And what we want to do here is we want to do the cross dissolves, cross the zooms. Cross zoom there. Cross zoom there. Did that take? Yeah, it did. Now the thing is, am I gonna, if I don't like this? It's not so bad. It's real life, right? Let's see if I can get something to drink. Pardon me. Okay, so here, and now we need the background for my friend the captain, which is this clip. And this was recorded on a nice sunny day. Okay, nice sunny day. Cut that off. Gonna use that here. Stretch this back out to here so the captain's talking. Okay, so he's not bright enough. It's supposed to have been a sunny day, right? So let's go back to where is my color? And let's make him brighter. Now the problem is this has to happen above the because if I change the color beforehand and what happens is it changes the color of the green. Still good. Okay. So we're good. Because the green gets brighter, and then the formula that calculates the green screen It doesn't work anymore. But so is the captain bright enough? No, he's not bright enough. Let's brighten him up a little bit more, just a hair. Let's give him just a hair more. The color balance is right because it was shot in 56K lighting when he talked, and it was daylight when we recorded that. So here, let's take this color and apply it to this captain as well. That's good. Okay, now let's go back here. And what do we have? We have okay, so that's the intro. So he's
It's
talking.
yellow.
Ooh, that's not nice. What's going on? Okay, so the color has to be below the Alter key. Let's move the other guy. That's good. Okay, so now oops, the wrong way. Let's stretch this out to here.
It's yellow and mellow. Let's cook.
I think I will like this guy bigger. Let's make him bigger. Oops, wrong end. Let's go this guy. Let's make him bigger and higher. Because if I was sitting at the cockpit, this is the angle I'd be at. That's really good. That's that. Onion. Let's bring that down. Bring that down. Blah, 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 blah. What's this? 1/4 red pepper. That's good. Okay, so that takes care of all of those things. Now, let's see what we've got here. What we're going to do is, okay, so now I'm going to leave this here. You know what? I'm going to actually move it to the beginning because it's going to get in the way of recording my voiceover. I want it at about a minute. Okay, so the other thing is, what's my color balance, my light? Is this bright enough? Does that need to be brighter? I think it's perfect. It's not too dark. I think that's good. Okay, so now let's come up with our so now we're 6 minutes and 29 seconds. So that's close to what I was hoping for. Let's deal with ingredients. And looks like I've lost most of my audience. But let's get the ingredients for this thing and build this ingredients list. And then we can do the little ingredients titles. Then all I need to record is the voiceover that says, let's cut up an onion and let's cut up a 1/4 of red pepper. Where are my ingredients? Ingredients are here, right? This is my ingredients. That's the plan. Where is my actual I guess I got ChatGPT to give me this recipe as well, just in case. Um, so where is my actual ingredients that I've created myself? Here we are. Let's bring out ingredients. One onion, 1/4 red bell pepper. What's next? I didn't put, 1 tablespoon paprika, 1 tablespoon garlic powder. I was too lazy to cut up a garlic. Paprika, okay. Then copy and paste this to save myself typing. 1/4 teaspoon turmeric or saffron threads if you have them. Chad said it's optional, but if you don't have the yellowing spice, then your rice looks boring. Let's come in with 2 cups chicken broth. I think that's what I used. Two cups chicken broth. And again, once we watch the actual recipe, then 14-ounce can diced tomatoes. I put in a pound of shrimp, 1 pound. Shrimp, peeled and deveined. Some people say that leaving the shrimp shells on add, I didn't put in frozen peas, add flavor. And this is especially the case if you put other shellfish in, because a lot of the flavor is in the did I put 6 ounces? Yeah, because it was almost a pound piece of sausage that I purchased, and I used up half of it. Where's my rice? Forgot the rice. 1 cup of rice. Okay, so that's my recipe. Did I put salt in it? I can't remember. Yeah, salt to taste. Salt to taste. And this will be the script for the for reading this part of the thing. So I think that takes care of all of my items. So the easiest way for me to verify that this is correct is let's go back to here. So this is my standard way of let's go with all lowercase. Of doing ingredients. So here we've got an ingredient. Let's put every new ingredient. We'll paste that thing in there. Oil. So we forgot the oil in our. That's 2 tablespoons. Two tablespoon oil. Okay. Okay, we're putting paprika here. Putting garlic powder here. Putting rice here. How much was this? Let's just zoom out. It was 2 cups. 2 cups of rice, 2 cups of chicken broth, 1 cup of rice. Yeah, because normally when I make rice, it would be. No, that doesn't make sense because 1 cup of rice is 2 cups of. And I wanted it thinner. Oh, yeah, because the tomatoes have a lot of water in them. Let's just zoom out and see what we did here. That was 76%. Can we see how much rice there was? 1 cup. 1 cup of rice, okay. Okay, turmeric. Canned tomatoes. Shrimp. 1 pound of shrimp, yeah. I think it's actually a little less than a pound. It's whatever the grocery store bags of frozen shrimp are. Okay, where'd my salt go? Okay, I just saw it, and now I've lost it. Tasting. And we're looking for stirring. Tasting again. Salt. Okay, so that means we've got everything here. So that's salt to taste. This one here is pound of shrimp. That fits on the screen. That's good. Here we've got 14-ounce canned tomatoes, canned diced tomatoes. Okay, here we've got turmeric. Let's see, we want this to fit, right? Quarter teaspoon turmeric or saffron, that's good. For the saffron, what have we got? What's happening in here? The broth. Okay, so we got the chicken broth. So the saffron comes after the chicken broth. Okay, get it in the right order. And then before that, turmeric, chicken broth. There's the rice. 1 cup of rice. Rice, chicken broth, that's good. What's this one? Garlic powder. This is a tablespoon of paprika. This is 2 tablespoons oil. Red pepper. Okay, for the sausage is okay, so that takes care of all of that. And now here we're going to paste in the ingredients here. And we can make it a bit bigger. Last time I had too many ingredients that didn't fit on the screen. So I had to make them fit better. Salt to taste. So that's nice. We'll see how long it takes to read that for the voiceover, and that'll tell me how long this has to be. So it has to be long enough for the voiceover. So that's basically, the colors are good, so I don't need to spend a lot of time dealing with changing the colors. And yeah, so we've basically finished editing my Paella video. I've got to do the voiceover and find a piece of music, but I use the same music I've been using all along. I bought something from a company called Smart Sound many years ago. The first ones were offered free. That had a set that came free with one of the early versions of Premiere. And I just bought a couple of upgrades. I wish I bought a few more, but I'm not going to spend money on them now. So having said all of that, I'm going to basically, let's bring this over here. Just update what we've been talking about here. Just save that so I can remember who I was talking to. And I'm going to, nobody else has come into the chat, so I'm going to say thank you for dropping by to give me the opportunity to think out loud and get this ready. This will get posted tomorrow. And then we'll see if we get one more on the boat live out on Wednesday or Thursday. and then we'll be stuck in the basement for the winter. Um, but we'll see how that works out. Maybe we'll do some lives, basically replaying some of the video. People do these restreams, um, some of the video from some of the sailing trips this year, and talk a bit about what we're seeing in terms of the sights of Toronto from the lake. So I'm going to say thank you very much for coming by, and I'm going to hit the end stream button. Do I really want to end the stream? I want to end the stream.